So, two trades today, both break-even trades. Another incredibly frustrating day. Big mistake on this one, but I think it was influenced because of this one here. So it was pivots were fairly bullish. It was overlapping higher on two out of three of them, and then it was a higher relationship on the pivots here. But today's open was opening up lower after a huge sell-off overnight. So it was opening up below value area low and yesterday's low, and all four. And it was bouncing off of this low volume node here and this demand zone here. So my plan today was mainly to short this area at value area low, which coincided with this low volume node zone that was over here. So we're coming into this 7180 level, and since we're under it, I wanted to short this level, and it lined up with the value area low pretty well at 7181. So I want to short that, or if it comes down here first, then I want to short long 7150. So that was my plan going into market open, and it rallies up and comes right into value area low, into this low volume node zone. And it was pretty much picture perfect, I think. So it comes up to 7181 here, and then it starts, there's a big order that got filled there. But what happens here is a 1 minute high volume shooting star forms, and then a 3 minute high volume shooting star forms here, then a 5 minute high volume shooting star. So all three are forming high volume shooting stars right at that level that I'm looking at to short. So I'm a big fan of that action here. But on the tape, I don't really see too much. Not much of a P shape here. I mean, the POC is at the top, but it's not much of a P shape that I would like. So I'm looking for some sort of retest back in. Ideally, it would come back in and it would form a higher high on CVD without forming a higher high on price. But it does come back into about 79. I see a bunch of buyers getting stuffed over here. And that's pretty much all it gets to. And then it starts forming a delta divergence on the 2 minute here. So it comes back in and then starts rejecting again while forming a delta divergence on the 2 minute. And that's pretty much all I need. 20 range chart. Candle also forming a delta divergence, and then this 1 minute candle is also forming a delta divergence here. So I liked that, and I entered with 2 contracts with a stop above the highs here. The 1 minute, I think, finalizes, yeah, right there. So didn't quite make a CVD hidden divergence, but I liked this delta divergence here, so I entered. After entry, it comes back again, tests the 79 level once again. Again, it's not much of a P shape here, but there is some sort of, I guess, buyers that got stuffed up there. So the POC was at the highs. And then when it comes back to retest 79 again, it forms a higher high on CVD. That's the CVD hidden divergence I wanted, so that gave me a little more confidence to hold this trade. So it kind of looks like it's going to rally, but suddenly sellers come in and pushes price down here. So that proves to me that there are some sellers at least. And then now it's, I'm looking for 7160. That's my 3-hour target. It's around the low of day also, so I thought it was decent. And then under that, my final target would have been 7150, although I don't know if I would have left the second contract to run that far, but the thesis was that it would go from here to over here. So, yes, so 3R I was targeting at first, 7160. Then it comes into 7166 here. Seems like it's making a good movement here, but then it starts getting stuffed here, forms a B shape, rallies back up, while forming a delta divergence on the 2 minute and the 20 range chart here. So POC at the lows, B shape. I mean, it's B shape here. Buyers come in. POC way out the lows here. And the delta divergence. And I don't like that at all. At this point, I'm already up 2R, over 2R, so I put my stop at break even. But I'm still holding just in case, it tries to break the lows again. And we do have 7 a.m. news, so I'm holding through news. I was really hoping that it doesn't pop and stop me out at break even. My break even was at 77, so that was about 7 points away. But after news comes out, it comes down to retest this B shape, and then it holds with the POC at the lows again. 2 delta divergences in a row on the 2-minute chart. Just nothing is really looking great. Comes back down, forms another delta divergence here, and then starts going back up. So, I mean, I have to follow my rules. It's over 2R, so I can't. I have to put out break even. Comes up, hits my break even, and then, yeah, pretty much starts going back down. I mean, if I had even a little bit better of an entry, I would have been able to capitalize more on this, because it did go and hit my target eventually. But yeah, I got stopped out at break even there. Quite unfortunate, honestly. I could have held. It hit it to the tick, and yeah, it sucks that I didn't get a better entry. If I got like even a few ticks better entry. But I'm very frustrated here, especially after yesterday, where it just wasn't hitting my target. Once again, it hits about 2.5 R, and then it reverses, almost 2.5 R here, and then it reverses. Doesn't quite get to 3 R. And even if it wasn't 3 R, it should have at least hit low of day. Was my thesis, and eventually over here it should go down over here, from this low volume node to that low volume node. So, I mean, the thesis worked out obviously in hindsight, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I followed my rules and I did what I could, but especially since yesterday, I mean, my targets weren't hitting, and I get very, very frustrated here that this B shape was forming and I was holding, and it would stop me out at break even. So I'm not in the best state of mind here, but I do see some stuff here. So there is a delta divergence on the 20 range chart, and then delta divergence on the 1 minute, while forming a CVD hidden divergence, which I liked. So decent confirmations here, and I want to see if there could be a continuation down, because I did get ticked out of my position here. So the 20 range delta divergence is finalized here. Trying to see if there is another retest into the 75 area. And I do get that retest, and again, it's forming highs, newer highs here on CVD. And that was pretty much it for me. And then there was delta divergence forming here on the 2 minute as I got in right there. So that was decent. I only entered with 1 contract because it's my second attempt at the same setup. Stop at the highs here, 77 3/4. And then what happens is that it comes back into this B shape and starts bouncing again, forming a delta divergence. And I'm very emotional at this point. I say, are you serious right now? I should just get out. I don't know if it's even worth holding, because it bounced, and then it retested, bounced, and then now it's forming another higher low, delta divergence, and bouncing. So, I mean, I'm at break even right now, and I just get out. Because I don't want, I think it was the fact that it almost worked out, got stopped out at break even, and now I'm going to take a loss on it, trying to take the second leg of it, but taking a loss instead. And even though it worked out mostly, I'm going to take a red day because of that. And I guess, I don't know, I don't want to lose money. Yeah, I just didn't have the greatest confidence here when it bounces here again. And it was kind of an emotional exit, but I don't know, at the time I thought it was decent. Clearly I didn't accept my 7-point loss or whatever I had. Yeah, I just don't want to lose money on the setup that I just broke even on, I guess. And it kind of chops around here. There's a lot of absorbing going on here. Delta divergence again, comes back down. Delta divergence again, 2 in a row, B shape, but sellers keep pounding it, and finally it breaks and hits 2R, and then comes down to hit my target, which would have been the 3R level here at 54-ish. So hits 54, and then eventually it goes into this low volume node, which was my thesis in the first place. So my thesis worked out, and I completely did not capitalize on any of it. I had 2 good entries, and one I followed my rules, but got stopped out of break even. The second one I didn't follow my rules and got stopped out of break even. Well, I stopped out at break even and then watched it drop into my target. So yeah, not great, not fun, very frustrating. Not happy with myself with this one. Clearly I didn't accept the loss here. But also not happy at the market here. I mean, freaking ticked me out, so I don't know. Not great overall.